What's going on, everybody? This is Lamar, MF in Research. Let's talk about weight loss and weight loss gear. All right, folks, a little bit about what's going on is I thought I'd share a series of videos with this one being first, just to let everybody know how it's progressing, my successes, my failures, and seeing what happened. So just a little background to kind of know where we've been, just to know where we're going. Let's recap a little bit. So I'm down about 8 pounds since I started. I've been working out off and on for years. Used to be real dedicated. Used to get up at 3 o'clock, 3:45 in the morning, get my workout in before going into work. A lot's happened since those days. 2 kids, a motorcycle accident, getting lazy, traveling for work, all kind of things kind of got me out of that routine. So now I'm trying to get some of that back. I've tried off and on in the years, and what ends up happening is I go gung-ho trying to get like I used to be and mess around and I hurt something. I'm not as young as I used to be, so you know what happens with that. So I'm gonna start real slow. I'm not gonna try to jump in any fitness classes, no CrossFit, no HIIT training, no running, no couch to 5Ks or anything like that. I'm just gonna start with walking. Walking 30 to 45 minutes a day, moving it up to an hour. So that's where I started. And I'll talk about all the gear that associates with my walking. I do some yoga on YouTube to just kind of get things going, and doing stretching and mobility work and stuff like that to loosen up the joints, loosen up the muscles, and make sure I recover. So that's gonna be the first phase. And then we'll go on from there. In the later months, we'll talk about how that's progressing and what I plan on adding on top of all of that. So now let's get to the fun part. Let's talk about the gear that I've used this month. And every month this will change. So I'll let you know what new gear I've worked on, if I'm gonna do a review on it by itself in the future, or if I just like it or not. So let's begin. So the first thing I got is, I've had these for years. They're lacrosse balls. You'll see like the fitness balls that you roll on your joint, your muscles and stuff like that to help them release. They cost anywhere from $5 to $50 depending on where you get them from. These, I think I got a pack for like 6. I've had them for years. I put them all over the place. I used to have one at the office when I was going into the office. I'd have one upstairs, downstairs, in the room. But now they kind of end up where my son ends up leaving them. So this one was in the garage, so I just took this one for the video. And then stepping it up a little bit, I've got this guy. This is from Mobility. It's kind of like half of a lacrosse ball that I just showed you. And what's cool about it is the bottom that's flat, it makes it so it doesn't slide around while you're trying to do things. One of the challenges, especially when you're trying to get that upper back area with the lacrosse ball on the wall, it slips and it falls and it rolls across the floor. So sometimes you gotta go chasing it down. So with that, this kind of holds in place. They've got different densities. So this is the softer one. I think I'm gonna get one of the firmer ones later on, and we'll see how that works out. So far I like it. Some areas is perfect, like my feet, my hamstrings. Other areas, it's not that good. So like in my legs and stuff like that, I need a little more of the firmer one. So we'll try that in the future and see how that works out. And also I bought a Theragun. I was gonna go with one of the cheaper ones, but I thought, since I'm really trying to do things right this time, I thought I'd just spend the money and try to get a good one, and hopefully that'll help. So far, and we'll talk about it I think in the future, after I spend a little more time with it, I'll review it and the app. I'll let you know what I think about it. So far it's okay. Again, I'll have to decide if it's worth the money. We'll see how that works out later. And last but not least, I've got these guys. They're not really fitness equipment. They're just my sunglasses. They're the Steel Union Cooper sunglasses. They're pretty cool. They're pretty sturdy. They're strong. They're magnetic. So they kind of stick to themselves. So that's pretty cool. I use those on my walks when it's sunny. So that really helps out. It keeps my eyes safe, all that stuff. And I enjoy them. So I'm still breaking them in, but they're still pretty comfortable. So with that, that's the first month. Let's see how we go. Any ideas, recommendations, people to check out online, let me know. I'm looking forward to it. Also, my YouTube, some of the people I use on YouTube, I use Manflow Yoga, I like Yoga with Adrian, and Sean V Yoga. And I'll put their links in the description so you can check them out if you want to get some YouTube yoga in. There's tons of others, but those are the ones I've been using the longest. I've been checking a couple out, but they're pretty consistent. They've got things for all skill levels, short, like 5-minute yogas, chair yogas, yoga for travel, all the way to hour yoga, power yoga, yoga for heart rate, yoga for your back. I mean, they got everything covered. So I check them out, especially if you don't want to try a class first. My flexibility isn't that great, but it's fine. I can just pull the mat out and get some yoga in right in my living room. Oh, one more thing. The most important thing. I forgot about my Apple Watch that I bought. I bought that to track my steps, to do some of the fitness challenges that they have going on. It reminds me to stand up. It reminds me to drink my water. It reminds me to take a break and reflect on things for the day. It keeps you motivated. It tracks everything. Works perfect for me. For any other reviews, take a look at my page and look at some of the other things you might be interested in seeing what I talk about. We're going to keep this. This is going to be the first video in the series. Check the description for the future videos, for the rest of the series, for other gear that I review, the Theragun, anything like that I've got going on. The sunglasses, I might even do a review of them by themselves. Check it out. Check me out on Tuesdays. Like I said before, I do a podcast with my brother, Foul Language Podcast. We talk about some of everything. We're two dads, and we just kind of talk about life, living from our perspective. With that, take care of yourselves. This is Lamar, MF in Research, and I'm out.